Hello guys, it's Nick and welcome back to my channel and another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the links between Ireland and India. This has been such a fascinating thing to research and learn about because there are actually so many ties and links between Ireland and India that I certainly didn't know, so probably you may not have either. I actually got this idea because a lot of people throughout since I started doing YouTube have said in my comments about this woman named Annie Besant, an Irish woman, which we will talk about her in depth a little bit shortly. But it got me spurred on thinking like, wow, like there probably is a lot of these types of links between the two countries that I would love to explore and know about. So I have done the research and let's chat about them. I have my lovely cup of coffee with cream and let's get into it. So the very first link is obviously our histories for the struggle of independence from Britain. Both India and Ireland were colonized at similar points in time as well. Our president at the time, during when we achieved independence, his name was Eamon de Valera, and he very much was influenced by Mahatma Gandhi's non-violence take on the fight for freedom. In the end, Ireland did end up using armed weapons to fight for its freedom. You know, we didn't go the route of non-violence. However, Eamon de Valera was definitely influenced by what Gandhi preached and his philosophies. They had met up, I think, various times throughout these years where the freedom fight was going on in both countries. India gained independence in 1947 and Ireland gained its independence in 1921. And the embassy in New Delhi, the Irish embassy, actually opened in 1964, so not too long after India got its independence. So there was always a good relationship between Ireland and India, and Ireland very much always supported India's fight for freedom and fight for independence. A joint declaration and relationship between Ireland and India was established in 1949, so just 2 years after India got its independence. So yeah, this is the first obvious one, is that we have similar histories. We were both colonized by the same country and dealt with similar things such as famine, mass emigration, all of the atrocities that come with colonization. Obviously they were on different scales as well, but both experienced a similar history and similar background. And this brings me on to the woman herself, Annie Besant, which you all have been mentioning. I have been so amazed to read about her because we have never learnt about her in our own history, which I can kind of understand because I suppose she was more fighting for different rights and freedoms within India as opposed to Ireland. But I'm so excited to share about her because it's so, yeah, it's such a cool link, and just to know this nugget of information is great. So she was an Irish woman. She was actually born in the UK, but her parents were Irish immigrants. So they immigrated to the UK during the time of the famine in Ireland. She was a social activist and free thinker who very much advocated for women's rights, education, and freedom. She went to India and played a vital role in the freedom fight in India by launching the Home Rule League, and she modelled that based on the Irish struggle for independence and our Home Rule law. It's also so amazing that in that time, you know, like the 19th century, that there was such people existed, such women existed fighting for rights and fighting for equality and education and, you know, freedom. And it's just, yeah, it just makes me very proud to know she was an Irish woman, and the fact it was modelled based on the Irish home rule system as well is, yeah, it's just such a nice link between the two countries. And yeah, I was just so happy when I learned about her. But if you know any, obviously Indians, I know you study her in school, in your schooling, in your history, so you have definitely more information about her than I have. So do let me know in the comments anything that I haven't said that I should know about her. I would love to know. This brings me on to another similar woman who was Irish. Her name was Margaret Noble, and she was initially a disciple of Swami Vivekananda, I believe is how you say. She's also, sorry, known as Sister Nivedita, I think that's how you say it. Again, maybe I've pronounced it wrong, but initially went to India to help Swami Vivekananda set up a school in, it was Calcutta at the time, in West Bengal, and to set up a school for women's education. So she was a prominent figure in setting up that school and helping educate women. She also worked for India's independence and was very much in favor of India's nationalism. This is actually such a crazy link and just brought up when I read about her school, because when I was in school, in like secondary school, so high school I guess equivalent, there was an opportunity for a select few people to go to Kolkata and to work in a school that an Irish woman had set up. I am not certain, I don't remember if it was definitely the same school, but it was in Kolkata. Yeah, I remember there was an opportunity for a handful of people, students, to get to go to India and work with underprivileged women and help educate them. I was quite young at the time. I think I was maybe only 12 or 13. And I don't even remember like the requirements, like did you have to be a certain age, or I don't even remember who went in the end. I think it was the older students at the time. At the time this opportunity came up, I think I was too young to do it. But I remember anyway, us being in this hall and them showing us the presentation of Kolkata and this school. And it's so crazy. Like when I read about this, I was like, oh my God, I think that's the same school that we had an opportunity to go to. Looking back, it seems crazy that I didn't go, given, you know, where I am now in my life and how much I love India. But I was, you know, I was so shy then. Like I was barely speaking to anyone. So I definitely wouldn't have been volunteering to go and do that, even though I definitely wanted to, and definitely wanted to see the world at that point as well. But yeah, it's just crazy. It's actually crazy. And the reason that was an opportunity for us is because the school I went to was like a convent, like a convent was set up by nuns, like a missionary of nuns. Obviously nowadays it's just like a normal Catholic school, but you know, in the past it was set up by nuns, and it's an all-girls school as well, so it's for like particularly like girls only education. And yeah, it's just mad. It's just mad that those links are there. And I know that there's many other Irish people who have also set up schools in India as well, and different programs like that. So again, if you know of any other ones, I would love to hear about them. But I did read about a few others as well, but these seem to be the main two Irish women who made like very big impact in these areas. So just amazing, like these links between Ireland and India. The next one is that Ireland and India both have reverence for literature, poetry, writing, folklore, mythology as well. We have had many like famous poets in Ireland, such as like W.B. Yeats and Seamus Heaney. And I read about this man from Kolkata called Rabindranath Tagore, I believe it was his name. He was like a philosopher, a socialist, a free thinker, a writer, activist, all of those in that category. And he actually translated the Irish poet W.B. Yeats's works into Bengali. So that was like, when I found that out, I was like, wow, that's crazy, you know, like it's amazing. Apparently Tagore was really influenced by Irish literature and culture, and prompted him to do that. And I don't know so much about Rabindranath Tagore, so Indians watching, if you know more about him, I would love to hear about some of his philosophies or ideals. I did read about some of his quotes that he had, and they were like, I was really impressed with them, because I used to be really big into philosophy when I was kind of like a teenager. I used to buy Friedrich Nietzsche's books, and I was really into like deep thinking and philosophy. I still am, but I don't really read that much about it now. I just think. But yeah, again, another amazing connection that you just never would have known about for the most part. So really cool. And that leads on to just generally, like, if you think about Celtic spirituality and Indian spirituality, they're not so different from each other. Both definitely kind of are more focused in on nature and like a worldliness about the spirituality, you know, the sky and the ground, and valuing those things, and kind of using those as points for spirituality in life. So both countries are similar in that aspect. And if you think about Irish monks and Indian sages, both lead a very similar lifestyle, you know, an ascetic lifestyle where they're kind of you know, living a life in devotion to knowledge and devoted to their mind, I guess, and in getting to a certain place and doing kind of something beyond, like humanly, I guess you could say. So yeah, both have that similar link as well. And in Irish mythology and Indian mythology, again, they just have similar links. I know that here in Ireland, and what I've learned about India as well, is there's lots of superstitions. I feel like in Ireland they are more like dying out, like they're not as prominent nowadays, but we call them old wives' tales, so different things that are superstitions and people say For example, if you see magpies, 1 for sorrow, 2 is for joy, 3 is for girl, 4 is for boy. It was like a song. So if you saw 1 magpie by itself, it would mean that like sorrow is coming to you. If you saw 2, it means joy is coming to you. There's another one about the fairies and the fairy rings, which someone mentioned in one of my comments recently as well, asking if they were real, but no, they're not. It's just mythology. Ireland does have like a very mythology based kind of background if you go further back in history. So yeah, there's like fairy rings, which is like a ring of trees, and it was said that if you go and like disrupt them in any way, that you would have bad luck for the rest of your life, things like that. And more common ones I can think of is like never walk under a ladder, never open an umbrella indoors. Again, they all equate to like bad luck if you do any of those things. And the one about leprechauns and the end of the rainbow is if you see a rainbow, obviously there's no end to a rainbow, but it was that at the end of the rainbow there is leprechauns with pots of gold. So it was kind of like if you can find the end of the rainbow, you would have like wealth or good luck and all of that. And even our national like symbol, which is like the shamrock and everything, is a symbol of good luck. So yeah, just so many superstitions in Irish culture and in India as well that I've come to learn about. I would love to hear some of your superstitions from your country, wherever you're from. You can let me know in the comments, because I'm guessing there's superstitions in every country to a degree, but it does seem like, from my perspective, like prominent in Ireland and India. That's why I've listed it here as like a link between them, but I'm sure it is common in like most countries. But yeah, I would love to hear about yours in your country. Do let me know in the comments below. The next one is just purely in the appearance, and again, I know you can say this about lots of countries, but there's been so many places I went to in India where it genuinely looks like I could be in Ireland. Like there's definitely parts of rural Ireland and rural India that look the exact same, like genuinely like so similar. Every time I say that to like friends or people, they're just kind of like, they like laugh, like they're kind of like, because they haven't been to India, so they're just like, they can't fathom that could possibly be. But yeah, if you have been to both places, you'll completely understand what I mean, because rural areas in Ireland and India are both greenery, lush greenery, trees and fields that go for miles. So yeah, that's another similarity between them. So many places I was in India, I was like, I could be in my village right now. And a small one is tea culture. I know tea culture is prominent in, again, different countries as well, but in India and Ireland it's both the same, that if you walk into someone's home, the first thing they're going to offer you is, do you want a cup of tea or a cup of chai? So tea culture and drinking tea is a big one for both countries. And the last one that I love is hospitality. Both Indians and Irish people are extremely hospitable and friendly and warm and generally inviting. Obviously there's always the few not so inviting, but in comparison to other cultures, because there's so many cultures in Europe, for example, that they're not like automatically welcoming to outsiders or tourists or foreigners, and like it's just different cultures. Every country is a different culture, but Ireland and India are similar because we both are very friendly people. We even both have similar sayings or greetings. In Irish, we have one called Céid Míle Fáilte, which means 100,000 welcomes. So it's like a greeting, people don't really say it that much now. Yeah, it's a saying in Irish, like a greeting for when you meet someone, like, 100,000 welcomes, like I welcome you to no end. And in India's greeting is Aditi Devo Bhava, which means the guest is like a god. And it's about treating, outsiders or people that are coming there or foreigners as, above all, like treating them with the utmost respect and warmth and friendliness and kindness. So I feel like both countries are really similar in that sense of just having genuinely just good people. Again, there's exceptions for both, but in general, in comparison to other countries and cultures, we are extremely friendly people overall. So yeah, that was it for all of my links that I found between, oh sorry, there's one more, which I just found this out recently. So the verb in Hindi, dekhna, to see, to look, to watch, here in Ireland, it's actually a Dublin thing, because my mom says this all of the time, is let's go have a deco. That's what you say here in Ireland, like, oh, like, come on, like, let's go have a deco, let's go have a look, let's go see what's there. The British took that to Ireland. They started saying that because of, in Hindi, deco is like, go look, go take a look. So that's another crazy link between Ireland and India language-wise, is people from Dublin especially do use that phrase. My mom uses it all the time. She was shocked when I told her where it came from. And yeah, that's the last link. Okay guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you know of any other links between India and Ireland, or anything based on what I've said, more facts that I can know about, please do let me know in the comments. I would love to hear. And if you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one.